It's perfect. Wrap it up. When Nintendo announced Donkey Kong Bonanza, I kind of had no doubt in my mind that this game was going to be a 10 out of 10. And now that I've gotten my hands on it, it's an 11 out of 10, baby. Let's go. So let's back it up. It was a little shocking to even see that this game got announced in the first place. During the Switch 2 presentation, when they announced this game, almost everybody was expecting a new 3D Mario game because it's been like, what, 7, 8 years since Super Mario Odyssey? But no, Nintendo has decided we're getting a new Donkey Kong game. The last time we had a new 3D Donkey Kong game was Donkey Kong 64. And from the trailers, this game looked crazy. As someone who absolutely adored Donkey Kong 64 and all like the Rareware platformers as a kid, I was absolutely stoked for this game. To me, it looked like the closest thing I was ever gonna get to like a spiritual successor to Donkey Kong 64. And they are really different, but holy hell if this game is not just perfection. I already had insane expectations for this game going in, and it has blown almost every single one of them out of the water. I started playing pretty much the exact moment it got unlocked on my Switch, and I stayed up till like 5 in the morning playing. This game is so much fun. I don't know how Nintendo does it. They find a way to put out a 10 out of 10 game every so often, and it's all like you just see the trailers and you know it's going to be a classic. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is the best 3D platformer that Nintendo has ever released, and I do acknowledge a little bit of recency bias with that sentiment. So far, the first 5 or 6 hours I've played have just been pure bliss start to finish. I haven't stopped grinning ear to ear as I've been playing it. Like, this game is just phenomenal, dude. Donkey Kong absolutely deserved to get a new 3D game, and he controls absolutely wonderfully in this game. This game is so much fun. There is so much you can do. I feel like Nintendo has once again reinvented the 3D platformer by giving Donkey Kong his new braking mechanics. When I initially saw the mechanics that kind of looked like you were playing Donkey Kong Minecraft, I was a little like, okay, that's kind of weird. But I had no idea it was going to be as addicting and fun and satisfying as it is to just punch everything in sight and break literally everything. In Mario Odyssey, you had crazy movement to go wherever you wanted. And in this game, Donkey Kong isn't like Mario where he can do all the crazy jumps, but he can climb and punch through pretty much everything. And what I love about that is there are so many situations that I'm finding in the game where I need to get to an area, and if I don't understand how to get there, I could just break my way there. This game is essentially just giving you the ability to play Donkey Kong in a giant playground with so much fun things to do. Now, at the time of recording this, I've only beaten the Lagoon level. I've pretty much gotten everything. I think I'm missing like 1 or 2 bananas at this point in the Lagoon level, but I didn't want to put any spoilers for past that in this video because I know it's very early on. However, I think that this first level, this Lagoon level, is a fantastic first level to a 3D platformer. The vibes are just awesome here. This level shows you kind of what to expect, I guess, or what I'm assuming to expect throughout this game, like where you're gonna find bananas and like typically how they're gonna be hidden and whatnot. And I like it. I think I like it a little bit more than the way Mario Odyssey did the moons. At this point in time, I have no idea how many bananas are in this game. It feels like a lot. It feels like we're going the Mario Odyssey route and doing a lot. But so far, I haven't really gotten any bananas that I thought were dumb. And this is a game where it's obviously trying to lean into that collect everything aspect like Donkey Kong 64 did. But unlike that game, it made it a lot more like accessible and approachable. You pretty much are incentivized to break everything as you can get treasure or locations to treasure or anything like that. You might find fossils to spend on currency to get like the new outfits and stuff. And I'm a bit all over the place because I'm just really hyped about this game. I feel like it's been a long time since I've played a video game that captured that childlike wonder. And this game, I just feel like a pure kid playing it. It's so much fun. It's so silly. The story is really silly so far, at least to what I've seen. And also, I was really thrown off when Pauline started speaking in English because everybody else speaks in like gibberish, and then Pauline just speaks to you in full-on English. So there's just full voice-acted cutscenes in this game. I was not expecting that. Now, keep in mind, I didn't watch like any trailers for this game outside of like half of the first one because I already knew this was a game that I was going to be in love with, and I didn't want spoilers. At this time, I still am pretty spoiler-free. I know the game kind of got leaked a few days early, but I've refused to look at anything because so far my experience has been phenomenal. And let's talk about that first level. I was really thrown off when the first level, it said sub-layer 100, so I was like, okay, are we counting like backwards 100 to 1? Is there gonna be 100 levels? But I quickly found out that there are layers to each level, and you go down, so I went down to like sub-layer 101 and 102, and the first level is multiple layers, so I was really not expecting that. Kind of reminds me of Bowser's Fury in that way, where it kind of seamlessly transitions from area to area, but now in this game, it's like stacked on top of each other. So I'm finishing up the first area, and I've almost got all the bananas, and I go down to the floor below me, and it's like, oh, there's actually 15 more bananas to find here. And I was like, oh, okay, this game might actually be like massive. I have no idea how big this game is gonna be. Again, I'm trying to stick as spoiler-free as possible for my own experience. This game is one of the prettiest games Nintendo has ever released. I mean, look at how pretty this looks. And honestly, I've kind of grown to like the new DK design too. I think he looks cool. I know people were upset because they were like, oh, he's based on the movie design, but I'm pretty sure it just came out recently that it was the other way around. Like, they had actually had this design ready and the movie was inspired to be this DK. And I understand wanting to reboot it from the Rareware days. They want to go with something fresh and new. The only thing I'm not super hot about with like rebooting DK is I really miss that like hip hop aesthetic that DK had in DK 64. To me, so far, the music in this game isn't as impressive as I'd like, which is sad. Granted, I haven't done too much, but since music's actually a part of the game, you know, Pauline rides on your shoulder and you can like sing to like access area. It's like a special ability of hers. She sings and it like opens up stuff. But the few times there's been like musical sequences, they haven't really done much for me. And the actual level music is it's nice, but it gets old after a while. It's pretty ambient in comparison to like older 3D platformers, I guess. It's not like bad by any means. It's just, if anything, a little forgettable. And I haven't heard the rest of the soundtrack. But you know, Donkey Kong's been known for insane music. So far, the only thing that's really let me down is the soundtrack. The way these levels are structured and the fact that you can just break through everything, it kind of means that like if you kind of get lost looking for bananas because you don't really know where they are, you kind of have a general idea of like they're numbered on your checklist, so you can kind of cross-reference because they're going to be kind of near each other. But if you get lost, honestly, my honest advice is to just start breaking everything in sight. I've found quite a few areas that I probably was supposed to look harder for just by breaking through the walls and floor, because I just don't know what else I'm supposed to do. This game feels like it's inviting you to do things that the player thinks they're not supposed to do. You know, I see some areas that I'll go to and then there's like a reward on top. It's similar to Mario Odyssey, where you think like, ooh, I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be, but the developers actually wanted you to use the movement to get up there, and I think they're using that to this game to a lesser extent at least. I've only gotten one of the Bananza transformations at this point, and it's the Gear 4 Donkey Kong, and tell me this isn't a Gear 4 reference. Seriously, this is so Gear 4, and it looks so cool. And it's a lot of fun to control. Like, you go super ham beast mode when you play as this. Like, you can break stuff that you couldn't normally break with him, and he's really cool looking, he's strong. It's very satisfying to use. It doesn't last very long, but it's easy to recharge the meter, and that's also, I'm pretty sure, where the skill tree comes in. Because this game offers a skill tree as if it wasn't addicting enough to kind of give you a little customized route for how you're wanting to play the game. I really like the skill tree so far. I've pretty much prioritized damage the entire time. I haven't touched my health once because I've only died one time in this game, and it's because this game's really easy. I'm gonna be honest, this is maybe easier than Mario Odyssey, but I'm okay with that because Donkey Kong is supposed to be insanely powerful, and I mean, if you can destroy the terrain, you probably want to feel like you're the strongest thing in the game. But man, this game is really, really easy. When I got to the first boss, like the first real boss of the level's first boss, not like the mini bosses. When I got to the first boss of the game, I beat it in like 20 seconds. I was really shocked. I was like, is that really all it is? And I know this game's made for kids and Mario bosses have never been particularly hard, but that was really easy. It didn't really detract from me though. I'm not expecting this game to have the most mind-blowing boss fights of all time. And the gameplay is what I'm here for, and I'm trying to collect everything. I don't really care too much if the boss was easy, but it is an observation I have. I find myself saying, oh, banana, every time I find a banana. I don't know why. It's like a vocal stim that just satisfies me so well. I'm really glad that every time you get a banana, DK goes and does that jingle. It's very reminiscent of DK 64. And then there is something to be said about the frame dipping, but it's not really in the gameplay, so to me it's not that big of a deal. But it is something I wanted to be aware of because we are on a brand new system and with a brand new game. The frames drop to 30 FPS when you use the map and turn to the side, and then sometimes I feel like there's weird cutscene loading issues. None of this really takes away from me, and I think this is probably something they're just gonna patch out. I think this is not like an actual like Switch hardware limit thing, so I'm not too worried about it. And I have, while playing the game, never had my frames drop. So I have had a great experience with that so far, which is a far cry from the days of using the Nintendo Switch 1 and having it scream in pain whenever you'd put a new video game in it. And this game is just so good, man. I really wish this was a launch title for the Switch too. I understand why it wasn't. They wanted all the focus on Mario Kart World, and that's a great game, but this game is better. Yeah, I said it. No, I'm not sorry. This game is so fun. And there's just so much to find. It's like loaded with secrets, just like Mario Odyssey was. There's these things in the level where you go and do these challenge sub-levels, just like you would in Mario Odyssey. And so far I've done like a challenge arena, an obstacle course, like a special side level. It's really cool. It really keeps the experience fresh. I've not been bored for a single second of playing this game. I have not felt the need to look anything up at this point because I just feel like you've got so many abilities to find what you need. Like you've got the sonar ability to find treasure and the bananas. And every time I think like, oh, I really can't find it, I just look around a bit more and I'm like, oh, there's where I need to go. And I just don't know what it is about Nintendo with producing these amazing gimmicks. You know, Tears of the Kingdom had the Ultra Hand gimmick that was super addictive. And this game has the braking mechanic, which again is just so unbelievably satisfying to do nonstop. I couldn't stop doing the tutorial level because I just couldn't stop breaking everything. I think I left that area with like 5,000 or 6,000 gold. And don't even get me started on the costumes. I haven't even really seen much of them yet, but I love what I've seen. So far what I've seen is the pants that Donkey Kong wears actually changes the stats, and so does the tie. I don't think changing fur color actually does anything, but like I got swim trunks in the game that made swim faster, which was really useful since the first level is a lagoon. There's a lot of similarities to Mario Odyssey, and I think people are sitting here thinking like, oh, when are we getting the next like big 3D Mario? And I'm here to tell you, this is it. Like, this is the next big 3D Mario to me. You absolutely should play this because it does a lot of things that Mario Odyssey did, but better. It takes a lot of the ideas from Odyssey and Bowser's Fury, remixes them, and just does so many things better than those games and kind of does away with things I didn't like. Also, it feels so much smoother than Bowser's Fury because it's in the Odyssey engine. Or I mean, I guess it's in like its new engine or like a remixed Odyssey engine. I don't know. It's not in the 3D World engine is what I'm trying to get at here. I was already kind of joking with people before that this game is going to be my game of the year, but I always do, like in the back of my mind, that's the truth. And so far, it's blowing everything I've played this year out of the water. It's probably because it makes me feel like a child again, and I'm just really happy to just be Donkey Kong and bashing shit constantly. I think we deserved a game like this, absolutely. Donkey Kong deserved another platformer, and I can't help but think about how much I would love a new Banjo game after playing this. Oh my god. But that's just me being like a nostalgia brat. I don't know. I'm really happy, like, playing this. It's just so much fun. I think Pauline's really fun. I know people were debating, like, where's this gonna be in the lore? Personally, I believe that it doesn't fucking matter at all, but that's my opinion, and I think it's great that people have their own opinion. I think Pauline is interesting because she's actually in the game doing something, and it's really cool that she's like assisting Donkey Kong. You can have a second player play as her. Pretty sure controlling similar to Cappy like in Mario Odyssey. I haven't actually tried out Donkey Kong Artist Mode yet. It needs mouse controls to play, and I've just been too sucked into the main game to back out and try that. But I know I will try it at some point. It looks really fun, and I've seen some funny things already. So I can't wait to see what else people are going to make from it, and I can't wait to dip my toes into making one myself. Not only do I think this is the best 3D platformer that Nintendo has released in a while, this might just be the best game Nintendo's released since Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It remains to be seen. I might like this game better than that. Who knows? Very different games to compare to, so it's kind of hard. But this game is just so good. I don't know how many times I got to say it over and over, and everybody was like saying this before. I saw the 10 out of 10 review scores before I went in, and I haven't always agreed with, you know, everybody saying games are 10 out of 10s. I was never an Elden Ring fan, but that's just because I'm terrible at Souls-likes. But this game is, yeah, it's deserving of its 10 out of 10 scores that it's getting. There's just so much passion and love in this game. It's so unapologetically fun. It's not trying to do anything other than be fun. I'm not sure how long this game's gonna be. I'm guessing the main story itself won't take too long to get through, but the way I'm gonna play it is trying to finish each level before I move on to the next. So it'll hopefully take me a good while. I'm imagining it's gonna be a pretty big game. I genuinely have no idea how many bananas are in the game. I haven't looked it up or anything, but just based on kind of theories I have, it's gonna be a lot. And, you know, I hope this game does so well that they're like, yeah, we'll do more 3D platformers with other Mario characters. Hell, give me another Wario World. That was so much fun. If Donkey Kong can get another 3D platformer after his original one ages like milk, according to the internet, not me, I love that game, then I think Wario deserves his chance at a new platformer. This game is pure bliss. I love everything about it. You're probably going to watch a million videos about this game if you've stumbled upon this video, and I just kind of wanted to give my raw, unfiltered first thoughts of it. This is not scripted. I did not script this video, which is probably why I'm a bit all over the place. This was a pure impromptu idea just because I was so inspired by playing the game for the last few hours that I was like, I just want to vent and talk about how amazing it is. And I'm doing my best to not spoil too much for anybody. That's why I've not wanted to say too specific of details. I've shown footage, but I really want you to play this for yourself. If you like 3D platformers, this is gonna be one of your favorites. I can already tell this is going to be among the all-star classics of the 3D platformers. I got to the second level, and I will not say much about it, mostly because I've not hardly seen it, but it does appear to be grassy. So I am kind of excited to see where that goes, hoping the bosses get a little tougher. If not, I'm not going to be too upset. Thanks for listening to me ramble about this game. I hope if you're playing it, you're enjoying it too. I want to know what your favorite parts of the game are, because so far to me, my favorite part of the game is just the ability to break through everything. And that's probably a cop-out answer because that's the main gimmick of the game. But to me, that's a lot of fun. Really appreciate what Nintendo's done here with this game. I recommend picking it up. $70 is really steep, and $80 for the physical version is fucking dumb. So I don't blame you if you're waiting. But if you are looking to get like a really high quality title from Nintendo, I cannot recommend this game enough. And I doubt that's going to change by the time I finish it. That's all I really gotta say for now about this game. If you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the game or anything like that, let me know. Leave a like, don't do whatever you really want. Subscribe if you want more videos. I am gonna go back and play more of this now though, because I can't stop thinking about it, and I can't believe I'm even stopping to make this video, but someone else has to hear what I have to say about it before I go back. You know I'm bad at ending videos, so here's another picture of my cat. Bye-bye.